GTA 6 is getting destroyed online. It's completely cooked, I tell you. People are angry, and rightfully so. We haven't gotten any satisfying answers to any of our questions. In fact, they ignore our questions at this point. The $100 deluxe edition is the base game, which is literally just theft at this point. The wokeness is unaddressed. Lucy has a kid, and the most important part all about this cuck simulator is the fact that there's no gameplay trailer. There's not even a trailer 3 at this point. We just don't see it. And Rockstar doesn't care at this point, it seems like. And if this trailer does not deliver, people are gonna be angry. Honestly, at this point, people are gonna be angry no matter what. Rockstar is milking the consumers, and we fucking feel it. We know what's happening, and we don't like it, needless to say. GTA 6 is still gonna sell a lot of copies. Doesn't matter if it's woke, doesn't matter if it's broke, it's not gonna go woke and broke. It's gonna make a lot of money. But after this, I wonder how bad things are going to be, because I think all of the trust that Rockstar has to make this game is going to be evaporated at this point. It's not looking good for the future.
Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive haven't been completely absent when it comes to Grand Theft Auto 6. While they really aren't saying much, behind the scenes they are finally starting to crack down on those AI fakes that have spread like a wildfire on social media. It's really been the case the last couple of years. A lot of us were curious to see if Take-Two, because they are known to be very...
It's insane about the fake AI stuff that's going on, and the worst part is people believe it. You look at this and it's obviously AI. And people are like, oh wow, this is going to be like this.
Litigious and going after stuff like this if they were ever going to take action, and I guess now they chose the time was worthy. I suppose maybe it's an indication that Grand Theft Auto 6 is about to ramp things up. That seems to be the indication that a lot of people are running with. We'll have to see, but the marketing campaign for Grand Theft Auto 6 has been a topic of discussion just because there really is no marketing for this game. It really feels like the 2Ks and Call of Duties where they...
By the way, do you think we're gonna have any kind of cringe, go have fun in the club type of missions in GTA 6? Because I kind of feel like we're gonna get that. I feel that there's gonna be some kind of cringe-ass, go have fun and dance in the club type of bullshit. I don't like clubs. They're gay and dirty. Or the other way around. Pick one.
They don't really show much, and it's disappointing because Rockstar Games used to have a reputation for showing quite a bit before launch, and this is some of the top posts. Like,
yeah, imagine you have a mission that's literally this. Oh man, that's gonna be bad.
This one on the r/GTA6 subreddit. The marketing is amazing so far, and it features a comment coming from Strauss Zelnick, which talked about the innovation and creativity coming from Rockstar's marketing team. And yeah, there has not been anything, and we're nearing August already, and surely we're going to get trailer 3, I imagine, in the coming days. If not, the outrage is going to be enormous. But there is some like other...
Trailer 3 technically should be soon.
Indications, like over the last month or so, Rockstar Games and Take-Two, they're putting GTA 6 cover art at stores and stuff, so things are starting to turn up in that regard. But in terms of actually seeing new footage of the game, it's still a waiting game. And some of the top posts...
6-7. They had a 6-7 there.
On social media, like Ben, a big Rockstar Games account, acknowledged what's been happening, and this is something I've been saying. This pre-release for GTA 6 is nowhere near as exciting as RDR2's. In 2018, we had consistent screenshot drops, press previews, teaser images for new trailer dates, etc. Not to sound rude, but we're 4 months leading up to the game coming out.
By the way, this is really bad because remember, only bad games don't actually give you any type of teasers, gameplay, or anything. Historically, almost all bad games have not give you gameplay, not given you any previews or anything like that, because they're afraid you're going to notice that it's bad. We already know, because it's been corroborated by ex-GTA 6 employees, that they are going to sacrifice performance so it can run on consoles. So it's not going to be good.
Most highly anticipated game of all time, might I add. It's time for either trailer 3 or the gameplay trailer. These constant droughts kill the hype and momentum. If you told me in 2025 that we're not having new trailer content until late July, I'd call you a liar. And then he points back to the Red Dead 2 days, and it's easy to forget, but by this point of May 2018, There was already trailer 3, there was already press previews and new screenshots, and I think in June 2018 there was also the special editions, and all of that had already been announced. And it's easy to forget, but long before that, they already had like a little integration with GTA Online in which you could unlock a gun for Red Dead Redemption 2. So they did a lot more back then. It really has contributed to this image that people have of Rockstar Games these days, that they're very corporate. And that is a worrying trend that we're going to talk about throughout this video, as one Rockstar Games developer, a former Rockstar Games developer, actually commented directly on this. But yeah, well, about a month ago, we did have new screenshots that were dropped from Rockstar Games. I think there was about 60 or so that came with the special editions of Grand Theft Auto 6. Again, they were exclusive to that special edition, and Rockstar Games likes to do this little thing. They've done this with GTA Online. They continue doing this with GTA 6, but they use post-processing effects to hide the backgrounds. I'm not sure why they're so keen on doing that with Grand Theft Auto 6, especially as the game is just a couple months away, but they really didn't want to show too much of what's going on in the background. And you see that with a number of the screenshots, a number of the vehicles, and while it is impressive, there's tons of little things that you can pick up on, the customization, just the overall detail of vehicles and weapons and all of that. It's impressive. And then you even have this of Jason's, like, his main house that he's going to have at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, we have seen this for a very long time at this point, though.
And there's cool little things. There's a basketball hoop that's been long rumored as a mini game, something even I heard a while back. And there's a shipping area where you could probably put.
Yeah, you would think they. Oh, actually, yeah, GTA 6 is probably gonna have basketball because people have been asking this forever, and it's really insane if they don't have some kind of at least basic mini game surrounding this stuff.
Your ship and stuff, so there's some cool stuff there. It's just, I think we're at a time 4 months out, people want to see this game in action. The hype for Grand Theft Auto 6 is still there, even despite some of the controversy that we're about to go over, which also has included some new remarks coming from Rockstar founder Dan Houser. As summertime rolls on, we're all looking for something new to jump into, and today's sponsor might be exactly that. Crystal of Atlan is a brand enjoyed largely is a self-inflicted wound that Rockstar Games created. They could have dropped trailer 3 or something to give more attention to the actual game of Grand Theft Auto 6, but instead they dropped pre-order information and also dropped the major nugget that the game was not going to have a disc version available. Obviously, I think they've enjoyed the fact that Sony took most of the brunt force because they also announced that they were just killing physical media completely, but the Rockstar Games definitely still facing some scrutiny over that decision. And it was confirmed, if you remember, the Hollywood Reporter, which is pretty much a mouthpiece of Rockstar Games, they indicated that there is no plans ever for a physical edition. Hopefully that changes before 2028. But the situation has gotten
definitely gonna change.
A little bit more worse over the fact that if you live in Japan, I don't even know what to say to this, but this VGC story, I really hope it isn't true. I hope Rockstar Games comes out with a statement, but GTA 6 download codes expire only 170 days after launch in Japan. The source of this isn't some other insider or anybody else, it's actually Rockstar Games themselves.
Wait, what?
On their support page for Grand Theft Auto 6, its different editions and versions, they specifically labeled Japan and the fact that product codes in Japan will expire 170 days after the issuance date.
Is this a real thing? I have never heard Japan having something like that before. What?
Which is a very alarming thing. Some people are saying that this might be connected just to DLC, but hopefully Rockstar Games clarifies this, but
by the way, friendly reminder, Lucille's gonna be the brawler because she's a woman, which means she's stronger than men. Obviously, get with the program, guys, please.
This specific news nugget has brought the physical media conversation back into...
Also, bro, what the fuck honestly is wrong here?
Specific news nugget...
Like, this is just kind of fucked up, honestly. Like, look at this. Someone failed massively here, which means this is probably not an actual in-game thing. It's just art. This is just concept art, probably. Because there's no way. Look at this. What are we looking at here? Is she the strongest creature in the world? She gonna fight Yuichiro? Is that what's happening?
It has brought the physical media conversation back into the limelight. And we actually had Dan Houser of Rockstar Games, the longtime founder who left a couple of years ago. He remarked on physical media in an interview with IGN.
I love physical media.
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone does. Yeah.
So before GTA 6, the guy who made Rockstar has left, and is he also the writer? Because the writer who made the stories for previous games also left.
If people want that, I think companies should provide it. But I don't know that I personally care.
Sure.
Now, Dan Houser was not alone with commenting on the physical versus digital debate, because Laszlo Jones, longtime Rockstar Games contributor, now working with Dan at Absurd Ventures, also remarked on it, and he said this.
I mean, we all have that sort of feeling of, you know, when you get that copy and you put the disc in the console. That's what's been interesting. We've worked in digital together for a lot of years, and then making a physical product of a comic book is a different creative process, but also just really fulfilling to have a physical thing you can say, like, look, we made a thing.
And yes, if it's not obvious, Dan Houser probably isn't an individual that goes out of his way to buy discs and stuff. He's a creative in this industry, but discs isn't something that he's passionate about. But as he emphasizes, physical media in general he does care about, and he runs a game studio that has comics and such, so that does matter to him. And same thing pretty much said with Laszlo Jones, but they also talk about in their interview the benefits of digital, and I think what they're trying to emphasize is having choice is good, and that's what everybody has been saying. But taking that choice away is the problem. But regardless, you can add Dan Houser to the long list of creators that is saddened to see what's happening with physical media. And it's a trend in which you're seeing the corporate publishers of this industry not really giving a shit, while the creatives do see the danger that's happening here. And for a while now, there has been a lot of concern by Dan Houser no longer being at Rockstar Games, as he played a central role in the development of games like Red Dead Redemption 2, and also somebody like Laszlo Jones, who also commented on that clip as well. They were key figures in many of Rockstar Games' history, but it's also important to remember that people like Rob Nelson, Rupert Humphrey, Sam Houser, Aaron Garbett, key figures are still there. That's what still gets me excited for Grand Theft Auto 6, but it's hard to argue that this company hasn't.
Key figures can be the same, but key figures can also change culturally. They can change their opinions. They can change the way that they want to do things, and so on. So just key figures being in the company doesn't mean a lot, honestly. The same way on that, you know, people leaving doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, but it can change. And currently, a lot of people are feeling that Rockstar definitely has changed, that the approach is different, that the vibe is all completely off. It's not a good look on many levels.
Become more and more corporate over time. You see that in the marketing campaign. You see that with how they communicate. You also see that with how they've gone about Grand Theft Auto Online. We're going to talk more about that later on in this video. But it's interesting to hear from a former Rockstar Games developer in a conversation with Kiwi Talks, in which they talked about this specific topic, about creative control, if Rockstar Games still enjoys that, and whether or not they've become too corporate. This is what GTA 5 developer John Riccio said to Kiwi Talks just a couple weeks ago.
The actual games, like Sam Houser will sit and play the games, and he will throw the controller if it's terrible. Like, you know, like there is that is the through line that goes through. So like there's a very real responsibility of like upper management to know and understand the games. And so I think they have a little bit of resilience to the problem that you see with a lot of other places where they go,
That's an interesting pillow.
ultra corporate, you know, and they become this very kind of like corporate monster. And then you start to see the problems I think that your listeners are talking about, where like it becomes really weird, where like there's not a lot of, you know,
Also, eat tacos as a shirt is just cringe and lame. Okay, I'm sorry, but most people who wear stuff like this are questionable.
a lot of what made the original, you know, kind of studio cool kind of gets lost or diluted.
Yeah, this decade-long veteran of Rockstar Games, former technical director, then goes on to give a specific example of the actual benefits of some of the corporate nature at Rockstar, some of the figures that come in and make the game, or their games, make them feel like a Rockstar game experience.
We used to call it the Eye of Sauron, right? Like when your game, you know, gets the Eye of Sauron on you from New York or whatever, and that's like, this is when, you know, they're really watching you. That's when they're putting in a lot of the Rockstar, like, this is what's cool, this is what's going to make this is what's missing, you know. And so I think they're resilient. I would be surprised if you ever saw a Rockstar game hit the public that didn't feel like a Rockstar game.
I think it's fair to say that Rockstar Games, they care about their single-player experiences. There was a lot of doubt in people's mind when Red Dead Redemption 2 came about, especially because of the year of support of Grand Theft Auto Online, and RDR2 turned out to be one of my favorite games of all time. That's why so many of us are still, so anticipating Grand Theft Auto 6, especially its story component. But when it comes to the online component and their other stuff, that's where the corporate nature definitely feels like it has taken over, and it feels like they get like Strauss Zelnick is just like, we need to monetize this, we need to add a subscription, we need to make this game more grindy. We see that, and that's the concern with something like GTA 6 Online. But John Riccio, this former Rockstar Games developer, also did comment on the possibility of a 60 FPS mode on consoles for GTA 6. He is yet another skeptic in this regard. This former technical director who worked on GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption suggested fans should not get their hopes up for Rockstar releasing the next-gen GTA with 60 FPS support on current platforms. We'll see. I heard that this was what they were aiming for. There's been doubts. Even Digital Foundry thinks that there probably will just be a 40 FPS mode, but the decision not to have a PC release is something that has gotten a lot of conversation going. But Rockstar Games really the only company that still holds that mentality. Some people believe this.
Well, the reason they hold that mentality is because PlayStation and Xbox most likely has given them hundreds of millions each. My guess, the amount of money that unironically PlayStation and Xbox has given to Rockstar for it to be a PlayStation Xbox first release is in the medium to high multiple hundreds of millions. Because the sales for the hardware have been shit for every platform. They're underperforming. And GTA 6 is literally gonna make people buy stuff. Okay? Let me give you the rundown here. If PlayStation pays Rockstar 500 million, which seems like a lot of money, but wait, to release it on, PlayStation first, and, whatever, Xbox first, also consoles in general, then PlayStation doesn't need to sell a lot of PlayStation 5s to make even for it. How much does a PlayStation 5 cost? Let's say $500, okay? $500. You sell 1 million of those, and you're already technically breaking even revenue-wise. Now, granted, obviously, you're not breaking even otherwise, but in reality, because, it's just revenue versus actual money given. But then these people are gonna buy your PlayStation version of GTA, which you're gonna get a cut off, obviously, which is gonna be even more money. Okay, that's gonna be like your 50 million. And then they're gonna buy your, microtransactions and stuff, which PlayStation is also gonna get a cut off. And so on. This is a massive thing. And again, 1 million consoles being sold just so people can play GTA 6 doesn't seem that much. So every single one of these companies is willing to spend a huge, exorbitant amount of money. So Take-Two just prioritizes them. It is not even close.
Is connected to leaks and all of that. Not so sure in that regard, but it's definitely a controversial decision to say at the very least. And if we're talking about pre-orders and everything with Grand Theft Auto 6, if you were curious if they were hurt at all, like the retail side seems to be a total disaster. We talked about that in a separate video. Like the GameStops and stuff, they are hurting. They're also going to hurt from the PlayStation decision, which followed right after. But there was also this in which we found out that GTA 6 has the strongest pre-order campaign on record, is on track to sell 37 to 51 million copies in week one, analytics firms say. Newzoo estimates around $260 million was spent during the first week of pre-orders. That's not surprising. 13-year gap between Grand Theft Auto 5 to Grand Theft Auto 6 will do that, and people have been waiting years upon years for this game. Even people that don't play games, they know GTA 6 is finally coming, or at least they hope it's coming. And it does need to be mentioned, there was some concern about, is there going to be another delay? And with the silence that's happening right now with Grand Theft Auto 6, this is still something that is being entertained. One of the big curiosities has been the unionization effort. If you are not aware, there's been some massive protests happening outside of Rockstar Games because of some firings that happened. And Rockstar Games actually met with these union people. They were actually threatening to go on strike and saying that could impact the release of the game. Well, anyway, Rockstar Games, they did.
The union thing is also wild because, well, one, union, that's stupid. But two, the biggest thing is currently, the reason why they probably are trying to do this now is because there are a lot of rumors, which seem to be true at this point, because they're consistent and there's plenty of them, that the GTA devs are working overtime at this point. A lot to fix up GTA 6 to I don't know what degree, but a degree. And there's a lot of overtime being done here. Like, it's like literally 12-hour shifts and things like that. And if that's true, that's also kind of a bad thing because if it's a massive game, you can't really bug fix it or whatever you're fixing. You don't have a lot of time left, We still need a gameplay trailer, and now you're hot fixing shit? Are we even gonna get a gameplay trailer?
Of the game. Well, anyway, Rockstar Games, they did meet with this union, and the union said that their first meeting with the GTA 6 Studios management was a step in the right direction. So at the very least, that's an encouraging sign that we're not going to have another delay, if you still believe that is a possibility. And Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Rockstar Games, sent out a proxy statement filed with the SEC today, which just confirmed that, again, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out November 19th. And we also heard from Jason Schreier of Bloomberg, who has tuned in very well with Rockstar Games, talks to many developers inside the studio, and he had this to say just last month about whether or not Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be landing that November date.
So it is, let's say 90% with close to near certainty, it is going to come out on November 19th.
Still, though, right now, many people are waiting.
If there's a delay and it doesn't actually come out November, holy shit, then the game's gonna just be garbage.
Waiting for that GTA 6 trailer 3. They're also waiting for the gameplay trailer. They want to see this game in action. They want to see what, the evolution from Grand Theft Auto 5 to GTA 6 is going to be. And I think that is based on Rockstar's history, they don't like to show too much until up to the release, but I think it's valid to want that, especially with the long wait in between. And Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming, he's been right on a lot of his takes. People really attacked him for saying this a while back, but he said that he didn't think GTA 6 Trailer 3 would be hitting until the end of July or early August, and here we are. We have not had Trailer 3, and he personally has just said recently that he expects it's probably going to be coming in the next week or two, and I think so as well. I do wonder if we see any gameplay attached to that. I really hope that this is finally a ramp-up for Grand Theft.
I mean, we need a gameplay. Like, if they release Trailer 3, honestly, at this point, who fucking cares? Trailer 3 is supposed to be gameplay at this point. I expect it. A lot of people expect it. And you're telling me that's not happening? Bro, that is insane.
Auto 6, now is the time if you're gonna really start. It has to happen now. And ultimately, though, the contents of GTA 6, there still is some debate about what's actually happening with it. And it really is the online component, because while Rockstar Games continues to describe GTA 6 as a single-player experience, we all know that an online component is coming. And based on some GTA 6 Xbox files, they again have suggested that there is a GTA Online inclusion, although, again, the suspicion is that this is going to be like Red Dead, in which we're probably going to be waiting at least a month or two for the online component to come about. What that includes, what that online component...
Yeah, probably that's going to happen. Again, they want everyone to play the thing, then when people start to get bored of the single player because they have given all the memes to everyone, they have shared all the GIFs and shit, then it's online, so everyone just jumps in. Also, they probably do want to estimate at least how many people are going to be online. So, I mean, there's literally no world where there's enough internet framework to actually support the people who are going to log in on every console for GTA 6. It's going to be even worse for online, though.
It is like... that remains a mystery. And it does need to be mentioned, though, that Rockstar Games also and Take-Two have been readying things. What do I mean by that is that they've been continuing to take down mods. This was a couple months ago, but yes, they forced down the GTA 5 multiplayer platform Rage MP, and this is all in an effort to bolster 5M. They purchased that a couple of years ago because they want that to be the exclusive modding platform, something that they have control over.
Something where they get money. That's how it is. Well, anyway, that was Legacy Kill HD. GTA 6 is pretty cooked, honestly, to a degree. Have a nice day. Bye.